not to go to college, that had not been a slave.
Right.
So I was really breaking from tradition, and my mother and my grandmother were freaked out. They had my dad come and talk to me, and my dad takes me outside, and he's like, listen, he says, to be an actor is a lonely life. Everybody wants to make it, and you might not make it. And I said to my dad, well, that depends on what making it is, Dad. He was a smart-ass kid.
Yeah.
It depends on what making it is, Dad. He says, what do you mean? I said, well, you're a teacher. I said, if I can make a teacher salary doing comedy, I think that's better than being a teacher. And he started laughing. He said, if you keep that attitude, I think you should go. He said, but name your price in the beginning. If it ever gets more expensive than the price you name, get out of there. Thus, Africa.
This is Dave. He tells jokes for a living.
What are you doing here, man?
Who's he talking to?
I don't know. He high, man. He's hallucinating, smoking that shit. He's high.
Martin Lawrence is the guy that showed everybody you can make it from D.C. to Hollywood. I had a personal stake in his success. Every time he did something, it made me feel inspired and really good. And he was always real nice to me. He'd sit me down, what's going on with you, baby boy? Talk about comedy, whatever.
I'm working on something here, and you're blowing it for me, man.
I'm sorry, man. I'm messing up. You know, when we did Blue Streak, we were promoting it, and Martin had a stroke. He almost died. And then after that, I saw him, and I was like, oh my God, Martin, are you okay? And he said, I got the best sleep I ever got in my life. That's how tough he is. So let me ask you this. What is happening in Hollywood that a guy that tough will be on the street waving a gun, screaming, they are trying to kill me?
Mommy, what is it?
Honey, it's one of those street crazies. Get away from him.
I think it's Martin Lawrence.
What's going on? Why does Mariah Carey make a $100 million deal and take her clothes off on TRL?
In 2001, Mariah Carey surprised me on the set of MTV's Total Request Live.
Mariah Carey is stripping on TRL right now.
Her behavior was erratic.
What are you doing? What did you bring?
I'm trying to. You're my therapy session right now, Carson.
Okay,
you
what's
see,
wrong?
every now and then, somebody needs a little therapy.
Yes, I understand that.
And today is that moment for me.
A week later, Mariah was hospitalized.
What's going on? Why is Dave Chappelle going to Africa?
People were saying, though, that you were on drugs, you lost your mind, you went into a mental institution.
A weak person cannot get to sit here and talk to you. Ain't no weak people talking to you. So what is happening in Hollywood? Nobody knows. The worst thing to call somebody is crazy is dismissive.
Now, that sounds a little crazy.
It's not crazy because the situation kind of warranted it. I don't understand this person, so they're crazy. That's bullshit. These people are not crazy. They're strong people. Maybe the environment is a little sick.
I got it. I know how we could get Kenny out.
How?
Weed, man. We'll sell weed.
I was 23 when I was doing Half Baked. I was getting ready to turn 24. And I was going through all the things that a dude goes through when it goes from one level to the next. I was starring in a movie that I wrote. So things start getting crazy around you.
Look, I'm not stealing weed. We are not selling weed.
And my 24th birthday was coming on August the 24th, and I said, this is gonna be a big one. The morning that I turned 24, phone rang, and my sister was like, Dad had a stroke. For the next year, I watched my father teeter on life and death. Dad was dying, the Half Baked didn't come out the way I wanted it to come out. I was real upset about that because it was a real cool script, and then I saw it, I was like, hey man, you made a weed movie for kids.
There has got to be a legitimate way
to come up with this money. We just got to think. That's all that is. I get a call on my cell phone from Hollywood. I'm like, hello, Hollywood. They're like, hello, Dave. They're like, that pilot you did for Fox, looks like they want to pick it up. We need you to come out because they want to meet with you. And I was like, well, listen, I can't really come out right now. Got a real bad situation at home. Can we talk about this on the phone? No, they would rather meet with you in person. But you know, like the whore that they turned us into, I jumped on that plane and left my father's bedside, which I regret to this day, and I went out and I sat with these people in this room. Yeah, Dave, we really liked the show, but the pilot episode was about me getting booed off stage at the Apollo. They go, you know, but what are we going to do about it? I mean, there's not really any white people in it. I said, well, it's about the Apollo. Well, you know, we were thinking about the girl on the show. We didn't think she was that funny, not that good looking. I think we should recast her. And they started using terms like universal appeal. Basically saying they want me to recast a girl with a white woman. I said, yeah, I don't think I can do this, and I quit. On the cover of Variety, Chappelle pulls the race card. The race card. And I get calls from Newsweek, 60 Minutes. Everybody, we want your story. Now I'm scared to death. I'm like Rosa Parks or something. I'm like, I'm not ready for this. I was just venting a little bit. And then, a few months later, Dad dies. And that's hard for a young dude in his life. That's a real tough loss. I was there when he died. And he went from being my father to what are we going to do with the body. Within moments, it was over. And I'm going through all this stuff, and this is the guy I would usually talk to, right? Dad. And I got to figure this out for myself. I don't want to figure this out for myself. It was just like I was kind of bottoming out. But when my dad died, because I've been commuting back and forth to Ohio so much, that's when I bought the farm, which I called the F you Hollywood farm. I live there to this day. I live there to this day. I'm raising my kids there. Look, man, at that point in your life, it's something so real in contrast to what Hollywood is, a very powerful illusion. And when your dad died, it kind of just broke the spell, like, oh, this is bullshit. Look, I've been spending so much time doing this. What about my family? What about my friends? Wait, whatever happened to my friends? Damn, I don't even have any friends. Ugh. So I bounced, man. New Year's Eve, 1999, I moved into that farm, and that was it. As far as I was concerned, I was done with show business. And then I was sitting out on that farm rotting, and it was weird. I was watching this thing about Hugh Hefner having Playboy After Dark. I said, I should do a show like that.
So welcome one and all, and welcome to you. I'm Hugh Hefner, your host, though I feel a little bit more like the Galloping Gourmet.
We started talking about variety shows. We wanted to do something that was real personal. It was just, I don't know, it just, the word personal kept coming up. First of all, they're lazy, good-for-nothing tricksters. I'm Rick James, bitch.
Keep it real.
Yes, I'm sure, bitch. Y'all tell anybody I'll kill you.
Let's start the show.
You know, we did the show, we first come up with the format, we're like, man, why hasn't anyone ever done a show like this before? I mean, 18-hour days, we writing it. We look at casting tapes, we look at locations, every element of the show, man. The show was real micromanaged, and it was coming through two dudes. In season 2, the DVD's released, and it sets all these incredible records.
The largest selling television DVD of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now suddenly this is a bigger money maker than they thought. It was already making money, but now all of a sudden it's a whole new revenue stream, and my contract's up. So now, you know, the show is gaining popularity, the ratings are up every week. When the season starts ending, you know, you get the question, so, Dave, what are you gonna do? And blah, blah, blah. And I knew to be real tight-lipped about it. And the show is an incredibly hard show to do. That's the other thing. I mean, it's fun and all these things, but there's a tremendous amount of work that goes into making a show like that. Get your motherfucking hand out of my face.
Was there a tipping point for you?
I'll give you an example.
Hello, Mr. Chappelle. Do you know what you'd like for your in-flight meal?
What are you serving? Like, there's this one sketch we did that was about this pixie that would appear whenever racist things happen.
Oh, we have fish or chicken.
Ooh, wait! I just heard the magic words. Chicken.
But the pixie was in blackface. Now, blackface is a very difficult image. But the reason I had chosen blackface at the time was because this was going to be the visual personification of the N-word.
I'll have the fish. Thank you very much.
You son of a bitch! You don't want no fish!
It was a good spirit or intention behind it.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I just realized we are all out of the fish.
Back in the game, baby!
But the chicken's quite good.
So then when I'm on the set and we're finally taping the sketch, somebody on the set that was white laughed in such a way.
How was it prepared?
Oh, it's fried.
Hallelujah! Hallelujah! Hallelujah!
I know the difference of people laughing with me and people laughing at me. And it was the first time I'd ever gotten a laugh that I was uncomfortable with.
I'll have a fried chicken. Thank you.
Fried chicken! I need some music for this.
I mean, I don't want black people to be disappointed in me for putting that out there.
No, you didn't want to be disappointed in yourself.
You know what, Oprah? You're right.
You can have my fish.
God damn!
Thank you very, very much. I appreciate that a lot.
Long before I walked, I had considered walking.
You had considered
I had considered walking because I went back to work and the vitamin love was gone because it was a real ugly negotiation. It's a situation where now everybody's taking credit for this and that and the other. It was getting ridiculous. And I knew I was gonna leave, so I got ahead of schedule and I bounced. The whole time, they're trying to convince me I'm insane. They were trying to get me to take psychotic medication. I was freaked out, man, with the fame thing and being called crazy and drug addict and all these things. Scared me. You know, just being treated that way. Like I'm not a person anymore. You say this shit about me in front of my children and, you know, who the f do these people think they are? And they don't know what happened. You know, I have not spoken about what would make a person walk off the set of a successful show and go to Africa.
Why'd you walk away from $50 million?
Well, I wasn't walking away from the money.
Yeah.
I was walking away from the circumstances that were coming with the newfound plateau. But again, people don't understand it, so they call me crazy, and I don't like that.
Would you say you lost your mind, sort of?
No.
No.
Not exactly.
Okay.
I wasn't crazy, but it's incredibly stressful. It wasn't the fame that got to me. I love people. I like people saying that they like what I do. And, you know, it's like an economic threshold you cross, man. You know, they had thrown out numbers like $50 million. You put that in the paper next to your name, then that guy's gonna have some serious problems in his personal life. There's no question. You know, I like to live a more open life. I don't like to have to protect myself from people. I think the charm of small town life is your days are more predictable. The faces are more familiar. People know my name, I know their names. You know, when you're famous, everyone knows you, you don't know anybody, but here, everyone's famous. I don't want my life to become about enforcing boundaries, you know, but that's what happens when you become successful. Your humanity diminishes and you become something else to people. Love is like a nutrient, and I was deficient on vitamin love.
Really? Were you really?
I'm all over, baby. Is that what I want for myself? Did I get too big? Because I like people. I like entertaining, and the higher up I go, for some reason, the less happy I am. You know, is it going to get to the point where I'm doing a striptease on TRL or waving a gun on the street, saying they're trying to kill me? No, I'm not going to let it get to that point. I'm going to go to Africa. I'm going to find a way to be myself. In Africa, there's a small community of people that don't know anything about the work I do, and they just treat me like I'm a regular dude. So I knew that in Africa I'd have a place to sleep, and that I wouldn't have to feel strange. And, you know, when they would call me crackhead and all these things in the country where I'm from, in Africa, they didn't know anything. They was feeding me and taking care of me and taking me to the mall and just regular stuff. And it just made me feel good. It just reminded me that I was a person, you know. I didn't even know they were saying those things about me. Then I called home, and people be like, "Oh my God, are you all right?" "Yeah, chill, I'm in Africa, baby, what's going on?" And then I got a call from a journalist that had been working on a story, and he was like, "Yeah, rumor mill's going on about you. Just want to clear a few things up." And I'm like, "Yeah, what's going on?" "Okay, do you smoke crack?" I said, "What? Do you smoke crack? Did you graduate from high school?" I mean, it was all these crazy questions. And I thought about never coming back. I said, this place is crazy. Like, I'm that dude. I just thought about all the things that celebrities go through and what celebrities become in our culture. And then I realized, oh my God, I'm one of those people. That's a small club, man. It's a weird place to be. Ain't really no going back. You can't get unfamous. You can get infamous. Right. But you can't get unfamous.
Right.
So I got scared. I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I was scared to death. And I didn't touch the mic. But you know what was cool, man? The first time I went back out and did stand-up was in Cincinnati. So it's not far from the farm. I said, if I gotta run, I can get home fast. Club sold out real fast. I played a comedy club.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Dave Chappelle.
And man, when I walked out on that stage and them people were screaming, I get teary-eyed just thinking about it. Because this industry can say whatever they want, but man, people will hold you up. And that crowd, man, my spirits were so low when they were just holding me up. That feels good, man. These people, you know, they love you. Even if it's for a minute, they really do. They love you, man. You know, it's like it's a love fest. I hadn't told jokes, but that was just coming back like the Karate Kid again. You're the best around. I was just doing it, man. So I don't know how this whole Dave Chappelle thing is going to end. But I feel like I'm going to be some kind of parable. By either what you're supposed to do or what you're not supposed to. So I'm going to be something. I'm either going to be a legend or just that tragic f***ing story, but I'm going full throttle. I'm going all the way. You know, it's like you float out to sea and then one day you find a port. Say, I'm going to stay here for a few days. A few days becomes a few years. And then you forgot where you was going because you like where you're at.
That's how it is for me.